My spouse chuckled while declaring our split, at last liberated from him. I grinned and replied absolutely. Then the truth struck her fiercely when she discovered the prenup granted me 75% of our possessions, and her chuckling shifted to negotiating. Hello, I'm Alexander, 45 years old, male, and 3 weeks back, my wife, Victoria, 42, chose to unleash a shocker. We were attending one of those pretentious charity events her closest pal Heather, 43, drags us to. Victoria had indulged in a little extra bubbly, it seemed. In a pause during the obligatory schmoozing, she faced me, a sparkling, nearly frenzied grin fixed on her face. Victoria, sweetheart. She always used sweetheart when she was ready to twist the blade. I've been planning to inform you. I desire a separation. I'm at last going to escape you. She really giggled, a sharp, ringing noise that scraped my final patience. The little group of socialites nearby fell into an uneasy hush. Heather appeared briefly stunned, then swiftly adjusted her expression to one of faux empathy for Victoria. How thoughtful of her. I simply gazed at Victoria, took a deliberate drink of my sparkling water. I was the designated driver, and smiled in return. A real serene smile. Me. Absolutely, Victoria, maybe you will be. Her giggling wavered. She anticipated outbursts. Please, a spectacle. She received none. She only got consent. The bystanders fidgeted, uncertain how to respond to my absence of theatrics. The drive back was freezing. She kept throwing poisonous looks my way, obviously enraged that I hadn't fulfilled my scripted part as the shattered spouse. Victoria. Well, aren't you going to react? Implode? Beseech. Me. You stated you wanted a divorce, Victoria. You appeared thrilled about it. Why would I plead for you to remain if you're so anxious to escape? She snorted. Don't assume this lets you off lightly. My attorney will contact you. I demand a highly lavish payout. After everything I've endured. Yes, the enduring me storyline. Conveniently overlooking the minor detail that when we wed a decade ago, I owned a reasonably thriving tech firm and she was a casual fitness teacher with substantial loans. I demanded a prenup. Not due to lack of affection back then, but because I'm a realistic guy. My dad's chaotic split served as a warning. The prenup was unbreakable. If a divorce was started by her without evidence of wrongdoing on my side, cheating, mistreatment, neither of which occurred, I'd keep 75% of all wealth built during the union and full ownership of anything premarital. She'd receive her individual items and 25% of the joint wealth. It was fair then, given her money situation. She'd inked it, though grudgingly, after her attorney at the time, funded by me, examined it. The following day, as promised, a polished packet from Douglas, Aaron and Associates arrived by messenger. Within, a claim for half of all holdings plus ongoing spousal support and control of our main home. Typical bold initial move. I merely reviewed it, duplicated it, and passed it to my attorney, Peter Thorne. A guy who devours juniors from Douglas, Aaron and Associates for snacks. My directives to Peter were straightforward. Follow the prenup precisely and every exchange must route through him. A day on, the initial message from Victoria straight to me, already skirting the attorney she demanded. Victoria. What's this prenup nonsense your attorney mentions? That paper means nothing. I wasn't serious. I didn't respond to her. I captured the message screenshot, forwarded it to Peter with a memo. For your info, kindly remind her team that every contact must go through them, not me directly. I won't reply to her personally. I then muted Victoria's contact. If she insisted on formal paths, she'd have them. Solely. The quiet from her side for the following 48 hours, at least to me personally, was blissful. I figure Peter had a brief chat with Mr. Douglas. The giggling, I bet, has completely vanished. Update 1. 7 days on. Well, everyone, the heat has certainly intensified. It appears actuality, shaped by a valid contract, is a quite frosty splash for Victoria. After I muted Victoria and funneled her message via Peter, her attorney, Mr. Douglas, likely endured a tough session with her. Per Peter, Douglas phoned him, ranting, hunting for escapes, claiming mental strain and pressure over the prenup. Peter, with his predator instincts, simply noted the separate counsel she got and the 10 years gone without challenge. The following assault arrived from a foreseeable but surprising source. Victoria's mom, Janet, 65. Janet has forever thought her girl was meant for opulence, ideally funded by another. She rang me. Janet. Alexander. I'm horrified. Completely horrified. After all Victoria contributed to this union, You flaunt this document at her? Me. Janet, that document is a lawful pact. Victoria entered freely. All money talks are managed by our lawyers, as Victoria first required. I recommend you channel worries through them. But she built a stunning household. She hosted for you. You're abandoning her penniless. She'll be ruined. Me. She'll get precisely what's outlined in the prenup, Janet. It's a hefty amount, nowhere near penniless. Outside that, it's legal now. I won't debate it more. I courteously hung up. Then Heather, Victoria's main supporter. She ambushed me at the upscale market we both, regrettably, shop at. Alexander, how can you treat Vicky so harshly? She's devastated, and this prenup absurdity. It's demeaning. Heather. The sole demeaning act was Victoria giggling in my face while revealing our split at a crowded gathering. The prenup is enforceable. She demanded attorney handling. That's exactly occurring. But she adores you. She's merely mixed up. You ought to battle for her. Me. Her behaviors and demands indicate the opposite. This rests with Mr. Douglas and Peter Thorne. I advise Victoria shares her emotions with her attorney. Heather puffed, grumbling about my icy nature, and stormed toward the fancy dairy, likely to update Victoria. The recent push from Victoria's attorney? A fresh deal. They're now kindly agreeing to take 40% of joint wealth plus the residence, plus interim support of $20,000 monthly as she regains footing. The audacity is staggering. Peter's reply was one line, copying me. We restate our client's stance on the valid prenuptial agreement. No more talks on its key points entertained. I've begun packing her private things, luxury outfits, and used heels, countless ornamental pieces. It's a staggering volume. Every piece evidence of an existence without budget worries. Via Peter, I've learned she tried messaging from another phone, claiming I relish her pain. I told Peter to notify her attorney that more direct contacts beyond official would be logged as stalking. My device stayed quiet from her. Update 2-3 weeks on. It's been a chaotic period. The stress tactics have ramped up, and the shady moves have started. But if they believed I'd buckle, they obviously misjudged me. After the 40% bid was rejected outright, Team Victoria innovated. First, I got rings from blocked callers, mostly drop-offs. Peter suggested recording them, which I did. Then, a bolder strike. A worried acquaintance, Shirley Heather, secretly flagged a home dispute at my place several evenings back. 2 courteous cops arrived around 10 p.m. Officer Zachary was thorough. Officer Zachary. Sir, we got a report of a noisy fight. Maybe violent here. Officers, I reside solo. My wife and I are apart. She vacated 3 weeks prior. Every exchange is legal. Feel free to inspect. They did a quick look, found 0 issues, and excused the bother. I secured a report code, sent to Peter. He said it'd build a harassment case if ongoing. The next delightful twist was a message to my job's personnel team, copying my supervisor. An unnamed note charging I was volatile, unpredictable, and misusing work tools for the split, harming output. My supervisor summoned me, displayed the message, and noted, "This reeks of nonsense, Alexander, but personnel must check." I steadily described the scenario to personnel, highlighted my evaluations, and the probe ended in 48 hours. One more for Peter's dossier. Amid the active money disclosure, Peter rang. Positive developments, and more evidence of her traits, he stated. On Victoria's asset list, she oddly omitted that gemstone wristlet you noted buying her prior year. The $50K one. We'll handle it officially, naturally. This reinforced my determination. The peak, though, hit yesterday. Victoria arrived at the residence with her sibling Rachel, 38. Without warning, I was mid-work discussion. The bell chimed repeatedly, then banging. I wrapped the discussion, peered through the viewer. It was them. I cracked the door, latch engaged. Me, Victoria. You know better than to come here. Every talk must be attorney-routed. You're intruding. Victoria. Alexander. You must halt this. It's unjust. I'll be left with 0. Her tone escalated. Me. This talk is improper and over. Vacate my land now, or I'll summon authorities for intrusion. Peter Thorne will gladly address real issues with Mr. Douglas. Rachel began. Alexander. Please, she's upset. Me. Then her upset belongs in legal discussions. Farewell. I shut and bolted the door. I heard yelling outdoors briefly. I instantly phoned Peter to record the event and verify police call if needed. They departed before required. My payback isn't via shouting fits. It's the cool, firm, systematic enforcement of reason and rules. She craved liberty and to set conditions. She's discovering contracts bite. Final update 2 months on, it's over. The separation concluded last week. The chaos has cleared and the stillness here is simply tranquil. Post Victoria's theatrical doorstep visit, which Peter swiftly flagged to Mr. Douglas as a major protocol violation and coercion try, events sped up. Mr. Douglas evidently held a stark reality check with his client. Challenges to the Prenup's foundation ended. The underhanded ploys halted, particularly after Peter warned more false acts would lead to billing her for costs and possible stalking charges. The bracelet skip on her list also damaged her trustworthiness. The ultimate deal matched the prenup exactly. 75% joint wealth to me, 25% to her. She retained her private goods, including every gem I'd given across years. Bracelet now duly listed. Her quarter still totaled 8 figures, sufficient for a high-end condo and comfortable life if reasonably managed, which is doubtful. Her mom, Janet, supposedly rang Peter's firm pleading for extra for Victoria's pride. Peter's assistant kindly said talks were done. Heather and the rumor circle have muted. I suppose it's duller when the supposed sufferer has real funds and the supposed bad guy merely honored a past pact with steady firmness. What a twist for Victoria. Word via local chatter, tight community, says she snagged a lavish high-rise unit, likely burned much settlement on the initial payment. She's pushing as a style guru online. Tons of social pics with pricey purses and bubbly lunches. Feedback mixes sycophants and some daring queries on her actual job. Her bold declaration of escaping him now carries a sarcastic edge. She's rid of me, sure, but also rid of the extravagance my earnings supplied, the stability my foresight guaranteed, and the effortless path she assumed. Her giggle that evening was her illusion's height. The haggling after grasping the prenup's reality was a sad, graceless rush. The satisfaction wasn't in tormenting her, but in forcing her to confront the fully expected results of her choices, hubris, and bids to dodge a valid pact. She figured she held the winning hand in a master game. In truth, she was at beginner level and I'd long advanced my strategy mastering the board. I've progressed. The home feels airier. I'm seeing a bright, witty designer who runs her own firm and views me as a partner, not a fund source. It's invigorating. Victoria secured her liberty, and I retained my wealth, self-respect, and calm. And that, folks, is a true victory. Well, victorious for me regardless. She chose her path.